sometimes you do have to experience that pain a little bit of trying to figure out it on your own before you realize I could really use some help with this. And I will just say, through your accelerator program, we went in to learn how to be a podcast guest, but we came out with tons of clarity and just a better understanding of really what are we trying to even do? What is our message once we get on those podcasts?
You've probably heard this before, but you get to the end of your life, you're not going to be upset that you didn't spend more time at the office or that you didn't spend more time working the business and earning more money. You might have regrets around, I should have spent more time with my family. I should have worked harder at my relationships or what have you. And to have people say to us that we've been used in a way that has redeemed their relationship is very humbling to us. And that's the thing that I go, wow, we are really doing exactly what we're supposed to be doing. And we're just thankful that the Lord's allowing that to happen now in a more full-time basis.
And so we've kind of tied together these two big passions of ours. We've talked a lot about marriage, but we also love entrepreneurs.
Yes.
Yep. Entrepreneurs are a unique personality and lifestyle. And like you said, just having the guts to take leaps and to do different things. I never thought that I was an entrepreneur. And matter of fact, whenever I was younger in my 20s, I would take those career assessment tests and such. And normally, like the leader of that event or whatever, just say, like, just don't ever try to be an entrepreneur. Okay.
Whatever you do, don't start your own business.
Yeah.
And so somehow along the way, though, I've just changed. And a lot of that is because of Sue. She's actually more of a risk taker than I am. And her encouragement on these type of things has really been impactful for me to say, like, okay, we're going to try this, and we may go down in a blaze of glory, but we're going to enjoy the ride.
I feel like it's God's mission, and I feel like this whole call to stewardship is a big part of why I do what I do. And it's interesting for me, like, hearing your story was like very reflective for me, because it's like, well, I got online because we're doing marriage ministry. And so I thought, man, we're going to be marriage people. And, that was a great chapter in our life. And we actually got approached by a church that we had spoke at, I don't know, pre-COVID. And like, I'm talking like yesterday, like this just happened. I got this message on Facebook. She's like, we want you to come back, and we're doing this, marriage event. And I'm like, I don't really do that anymore. I'm like, but it got me thinking, like, we could. Now we ended up having a conflict of the weekend, but I've matured, and my wife's matured, and our season of life has changed, and we've got, 2 teens and a 20-year-old also. And it's like, I could do that, but like, I legitimately just don't feel like I'm called to do that right now. Like, I feel like I'm called to serve entrepreneurs, and I kind of talk about it like guiding the guides or leading the leaders, like empowering people like you who have their own unique, and helping you spread that, evangelize that, and go out and make that big impact.
And it's probably the 4th or 5th iteration of that.
Yeah.
And, we learned certain things, and we got feedback from people who are like, okay, that's not what we were going for.
Yeah.
And so, but that clarity is key. And that is what we have seen in our clients as well. And when we were teaching people how to source product and how to navigate customer service and all these little, detailed things, but then it would always kind of come up to, this couple, like the spouse is not on board, and how do I handle this situation? And we're going 2 different directions. And it's like, okay, we kind of need to pause some of these detailed steps, and we need to get the bigger things under control first before, you pull each other apart by going different directions. You got to be really careful there.
Yeah, keeping priorities straight is so important. And, we've seen it. We've seen businesses harm marriages who weren't, they just weren't paying enough attention to everything that was really what they said was the most important, but that they kept getting pulled away from that. And us helping people to figure out how to know how to set the boundaries you need to set so that that doesn't happen to you. And I don't think anybody would go into business with their spouse thinking, gee, I hope this hurts our relationship. We don't think that.
Yeah.
But it has the potential if you're not paying attention to what's most important. And that's one of the things that we can help kind of put up some warning signs and say, hey, this is what you need to pay attention to so that you do this well. You want to do as a family and the mission that you want to achieve.
And I think you'll find that most of the time the answer is no or not now. And we're just so programmed to say yes so much. So kind of what, and just in summary and finishing this up, then, is that the mission statement is going to give you that filter to take these possible opportunities and stop saying yes to good options and
Yeah.
start saying no to those and start saying yes to the right options and opportunities.
I love it. This is really powerful, and it is also simple, which I always say, like, the most powerful things are simple and the most valuable things are the easy to do and easy not to do, right? It's one of those things you'd be like, that sounds pretty cool. I'll do it later, and then people don't do it. I think you really challenge yourself, especially if you're working with a spouse, or if you're um, in need of some unification with your spouse about your business, financial, career goals. Man, like, who couldn't benefit from this, you know? And I think that's really, really powerful. To put you on the spot, and you maybe don't have it. And if the answer is we don't have it, that's fine. I'd love to hear your mission statement if you have it handy, or if you got some rough version of it in your head, just to kind of give people an example of how this might look as a finished product.
We
We
just
actually
happen to
have
have
it.
it.
Oh, good. I was like, we did not talk about this beforehand. So I'm like, I'm going to put them on the spot.
Said he might ask us, so we better have that in front of us. Yeah, so it's basically got four statements that, and this is probably going to morph. But the first statement is to grow closer to God as individuals and therefore closer to each other. You want to do the second one?
I'll do the second one, yeah. So then the second one is to grow in wisdom and use the gifts, talents, and abilities that God has given us to fill areas of service in the church and our community.